G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. It's at the other end of the day. It's almost sundown, but I thought I'd come out for a walk, come down to the beach and do one more 5am Club for the day. This will be my fifth. I've been on a bit of a roll. Spent a couple of hours now just summarising a couple of book summaries and preparing myself. And here we are. I'm up here at Nelson Bay, and I just absolutely love coming down to the beach here at Shawn Bay and sharing this moment with you. As you can see, not much activity, a bit of a breeze blowing, so what will I do? I might walk up this way and have the breeze to my back, and that way I won't cause any challenges for the mic. But what we'll do today is we'll go through a book summary entitled Big Potential by an author named Shawn and we'll see where this book leads us. Big potential, big title, and a very, very peaceful afternoon. You can see the sand's been washed away down here. How interesting. I think we've had a few windy, blowy days. There's a lot of thick cloud out there on the horizon. I don't know if you can see it over there. But I think the weather forecast for tomorrow is rain and stormy activity. So let's just go for a walk along the beach here, and you'll hear the waves lapping up onto the sand, and I'll try my best to deliver this 5am Club. So the author kicks off the book with a wonderful quote, where he says that denying the light of praise, we extinguish it, but by bending the light towards others, we magnify it. So as you can understand, this book here will talk about the importance of teaming and on praising those around you, rather than just trying to hog all the accolades and all the limelight to yourself, as many people do, unfortunately. You need to be very, very confident, very, very capable, and very, very generous to be able to deflect the praise upon yourself and reflect it on others. But the greatest leaders are the ones who do it without a thought whatsoever. So a wonderful skill that we can all pick up from this book is to learn how to deflect the praise that comes upon ourselves and reflect it on those around us who have also contributed to the outcomes that people enjoy. The author also goes on to say, a very, very powerful point indeed, is that we humans are social beings. There's no doubt about it. We're social, and we love, to a certain extent, being with people and enjoying the company of friends and family. Some people enjoy it more than others. Some are more extroverted, others are somewhat introverted. But in general, we like socialising with people in bursts. So just hanging out and being with people is something which is important to our well-being. So this whole thing about connection is critical, because it breeds progress and joy, and the lack thereof only brings stagnation and sorrow. So if there's one key call to action to come from this book, from this author, is that we need to be connected to the people around us, because it brings progress, it brings joy. And if you're too isolated, then what it brings is stagnation and sorrow. So the opposite. So we are all tempted. I know that sometimes we get tempted just to hang out at home and don't do this and don't go there and don't call your friends and don't bother to join others at social opportunities. But what happens is that if you do this once, it's okay. But if you do it over and over and over again, then you've got a problem. You've got a problem which is going to get worse and worse. So we need to force ourselves, where possible, to socialise, to engage, to connect with people. Because once you do it, then you love it. Now, how many times do we go out and all of a sudden we have a few drinks and we start dancing and we start doing this and we start doing that, and then you go, what a bloody great night it was. Why can't we do it again? Why can't we do it again and again and again? But unfortunately, that again and again and again doesn't come as often as what we like anymore, especially here in Australia. But I do know that whenever I go to Greece, for example, I have the time of my life, because it seems to be a cultural thing amongst the Greeks, more so in Greece, to love getting out and about, chatting, having coffees, having drinks, and just talking about stuff, any stuff, but just talking and engaging and connecting with the people around them. So if you want an indicator, if you want to identify an indicator of happiness and success, the author here in this book says, just look at social connection. If the person is socially connected, then chances are that they are going to be pretty happy and most probably pretty successful as well. The next formal point to come out of this authorship is the point that the author makes here is that we need to somehow be very, very meticulous and discerning with the company that we keep. It's good to be connected in bursts with lots of different people, but the people that you spend most time with needs to be a little bit more intentional. The author here reminds us that what we must do, wherever possible, is to surround ourselves with positive influences, because this will give us the seeds of big potential. So great coaches, when they're putting their teams together, when they're identifying talent and trying to plan their future, one thing that they look for is they look for how each player contributes to the team, their teaming ability, rather than their personal accomplishments and unique talents. The author here tells us something about basketball. I'm not a big basketball fan, I must admit, but he says that in basketball, assists are the greatest determiner of a team's success and chances of winning. So what's an assist? An assist is the person who passes the ball, who sets up the play to then allow the scorer, the goal scorer, to finish it off. So it's not about the person just putting the ball into the net. It's what happens before that that leads to that situation and that opportunity. So once again, the message here is very, very loud and clear that we need to surround ourselves with people who build us up and remove from the absolute root, those people who insist on tearing us down. Don't waste your time with people who want to cause issues, who want to tear you down. Just rip them out by the root and just get rid of them out of your life, is the message which comes from this author. Once again, it's not my words. I'm just an emissary. I'm just a messenger who is taking this OPE, other people's experience, and relaying it to my friends and family. The other thing that the author talks about in this book is that we need to help our team grow by expanding their opportunities to lead and enhancing by focusing on system as a source of success. So, as a leader, we have an opportunity to facilitate other people becoming great leaders around us. I remember years ago working at IBM and then at Advantra, and there was an executive that I worked with, the financial controller, the chief financial officer, should I say, Frank Cougans, who always said that we are his eyes and ears. We are clones of him, so that we should be looking out for things and we should be making decisions as if we are the financial controller, as if we are the chief financial officer of our organisation. So he invited us to be empowered. He invited us to lift our game and to try and be the best that we could be. Because this executive who was trained at IBM basically learnt very, very early on in his career that you don't have to be a leader to make a difference. But if you are a leader, delegating responsibilities to others will not only help you, but help them and help the organisation as well. So once again, an important lesson to consider, to try and be an enabler of excellence through the people around you by telling them that even if you're not the leader, you can contribute to the leadership through your actions. So we need to learn, as the author here says, to praise in the right way, and as I alluded to earlier, to deflect praise from yourself, but to reflect those compliments on your team. People will respect you more if you're a person who's able to reflect and to shower other people with praise that people seem to want to thrust upon you. The last formal point to come out of this book here is where the author says that the last steps to harness in big potential is to develop your system and sustain it through the virtuous cycle. What's the virtuous cycle? So the author says that when you are stressed, you've got to understand that when you're stressed, what is actually happening here is that it shows that you are caring, and it shows that you need to redirect the stress and transform it into a motivation that will get you doing what you need to do. I learned something new here, something that I wasn't quite aware of, and it's Newton's law. And it says here that an object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an unbalanced force. So what this quote tries to highlight and to get us to focus on is the fact that we need to maintain momentum. We need to keep on moving in order to stay moving, to stay active, to stay agile. And it always happens. I don't know if you've noticed it, but whenever I come back from Greece, for example, I come back from Greece fully charged. I'm on fire. because I've had the time of my life. I've been immersed in a culture which has a great, outstanding lifestyle, and I come back bursting with energy, bursting with happiness and joy, and can't wait to get out and about and to talk and to chat. And then all of a sudden I come back to Australia and I find that things are a little bit different. Things are a little bit different here. It's also happened to me. You go to a motivational seminar and you get pumped up. You come back and you're bursting from the seams, and all of a sudden people around you just want to pour cold water over your enthusiasm, want to pour cold water over your ideas and all those things that you suggest. You come back. You come back and you're surrounded by killjoys, people who don't want to, believe in what you've experienced, and will just pour cold water over the fact that Greece is not like that, and Greece is not this, and Greece is that, and they'll just be as negative can be. So what the author here is saying is that Newton's law is that you just need to keep on moving. You just need to keep that energy up, and to be socializing and moving in circles with people who have similar sorts of ideas and similar levels of energy. So I guess the key message once again is to be discerning, to be very, very selective with the circle that you keep and that the people that you hang out with, because as Anthony Robbins says, as Jim Rohn says, as Steve Covey says, and as every other philosopher have said over the years, that sooner or later you'll become the average of the half dozen people that you spend most of your time with. So be careful, I guess is the point, that we don't get disheartened by people who are a counterbalance, are a counterweight, and who try to bring us down and cause issues, I guess is one way of suggesting it. But it happens at both the conscious and subconscious level. Sometimes you're just in company, you're with people, and you just feel drained without even engaging in any way. And you go, how can that be? But some people, some groups, some cultures have a way of just, ripping our heart out, ripping our energy level out, just making us feel uncomfortable without even saying anything. So it's a vibe, as we've experienced time and time again. It's a vibe that just happens, that just is so negative, and it's just so neutralizing that it's something that you feel it, you can sense it, but it's something you just don't want to hang out with it and just try and remove yourself from it. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, where I'm coming to you from Shoal Bay up here on the mid-north coast. We'll finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's take some of these lessons from this book that we just went through, this book summary entitled Big Potential by Shawn Archer. And let's hope that we can be the wind beneath our wings, that we can share life hacks that we get from OPE, other people's experience, and that we can live, learn, and pass it on. So take care, everybody. I hope to come to you tomorrow morning with a number of other 5am clubs and book summaries, but somehow those clouds look like they're going to be carrying a lot of rain and possibly some hail. There's a bit of green in those clouds over there. So what I might do is go back to the unit and park my daughter's car undercover so it doesn't get all the little divots in the roof. But it looks like there's a fierce storm coming up the south, up from the south, from Sydney, and we'll chat again. Hopefully I'll be able to come to you from tomorrow. I might be able to do it in the car, but who knows. But you know, stay well, and we'll chat again. Let me just turn the camera around and say goodnight to everybody. Yasas, take care, and tatapome from Shoal Bay. Let me do a 360. It's just magical up here, and I absolutely love it. Yasas, Pedya. Take care. Get the lemon. Bye for now.